Good afternoon. I'm Ethan Moy. I'm here with Coach B as part of the 8th episode of Coach B Weekly. Now, Coach B, this is his last Coach B Weekly before Christmas, and my first question here to you is, what would you consider your most favorite Christmas gift?
Wow. Oh, man, over all
That's
the years.
That's a tough question, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a very tough question. It would be really hard for me to pinpoint one particular gift. I guess as you get older now and you get used to the holidays,
Yeah.
I would say the gift of always having, to be able to see the loved ones. You're not always able to do that,
Right.
especially when you're from so far away and stuff like that. So just the Christmases that I was able to be around my family and my friends and just enjoy their company, as you get older, hopefully you get wiser and you realize that the materialistic things you get for
Right.
Christmas, at the time you might feel like it's such an amazing gift or whatever, but the time you share with your friends and family, and I think that's probably always the most precious gift that we can have. There's certain holidays that aren't even like Christmas. Thanksgiving, for instance, when we were on the road and we're with our team, the meal was great. It was delicious. I remember being on the ocean and having that atmosphere was awesome. But I really, again, appreciated and enjoyed, and I'll always remember being with the team and just being around people I care about. That really is by far the most important joy I have at Christmas. So that's my greatest present, is just, not one particular materialistic gift, but being around loved ones and making the best of what we have.
Yeah, I was going to say, I should have guessed that, because with, the culture here at Robert Morris with the program, like that family is one of the main sticking points there.
That's
so.
right.
So we'll get into this past Saturday. It was a 67-60 win over Clarion. You didn't seem too pleased after the game here because the visiting Golden Eagles went on a 16-0 run to end the game. What didn't the team do down the stretch there to let the visitors get back into that?
It was a collection of things, and it definitely started before that 16-0 run. We got a little bit lazy early on, and then it continued to grow. And I think the defensive end really was what really set the tone as well. We went on cold offensive streak. I think the defensive end was what was setting the tone to have that bad ending, that lapse. Yeah. We needed to be much more accountable on the defensive end. And when we were pushing the ball and playing free and playing hard, we were doing some pretty good things, but we never allowed ourselves to continue on with that. Every time we started to outwork Clarion and develop a nice lead. I think we had it up to close to 30 at one point.
Yeah, 29 was the highest it got.
Yeah, I mean, when we started getting to that point, every time we did that, we battled ourselves to try to lower our standards and lower our intensity, and we never really continued on. And that's a big problem, and that's something that has to be fixed. Sometimes when you go on a little bit of a winning streak, you get complacent. You get like, we're winning, and, we'll put teams away, and then we'll automatically just extend our lead at the end of the games. And we've been doing a good job.
I can say, yeah, the fourth quarter success, you've been doubling up opponents during this win streak until Saturday.
That's right. I mean, at the end, you see at the box score, led by, the most we led by was the final score. So we've been doing a good job of extending leads, and I think we got complacent with that. I know in my heart we did. And we got complacent with that, thinking that we would just put these teams away the same way without actually focusing on what exactly did that. And, went on a little bit of a cold shooting streak there, but those things happen. The games that we were able to extend, it wasn't just because we shot the ball well. It was mostly because
you're getting stops getting stops down the end there.
Absolutely, and we stopped doing that, and we missed assignments, and we didn't execute our defensive strategy well, and I give them a lot of credit. They saw that we were, being lazy, and they came after us 100%, and you could see what could happen. Special things could happen when teams do that, and it was special for them, and in a moment for us that we need to go forward with, truth and grace.
Yeah, I was going to say, a nice little learning experience there as well.
Absolutely.
In that win against Clarion, you had 48 rebounds, 24 coming from the offensive end. Seems like after the loss to Michigan State to open up the season, the team's been rebounding the ball pretty well. Over this 5-game winning streak, you've been averaging 12 rebounds more than opponents. What has really gone into this turnaround on the glass?
A lot of focus, a lot of video watching, a lot of muscle memory drills that we're trying to do that, allows us to, instinctively do things, muscle memory drills as far as the progression of how we go after the ball, keeping our vision strong when the ball's coming off, and being in an athletic position that we can explode and pursue. You got to get position and you got to pursue. That's something that, isn't taught all the time at this level.
Right.
And, you know, when you got athleticism with strength, trying to get around you and being physical, getting in there, it's foreign, you know, to some of the players as they get used to this culture of Division I basketball.
Right.
And so we're working with some young players, a lot of freshmen getting a lot of minutes. So it's a work in progress for them, but we've gotten better because our heart's been in it and it's been full, and we're working hard at trying our best. And when you do that, you know, you're going to get better. You know, sometimes you won't get better like in big steps. You just get a little bit better. But those moments where you realize that, boy, I'm grabbing more rebounds, I'm boxing out, you'll see how that work ethic's gone. And, you know, we have another big test, you know, coming up in the next game. And, you know, like you said, since Michigan State, we've seemed to really take accountability for that. And we got to continue to do that going forward. Rebounding is one of our top principles of our team. You know, we gotta do three things really well. We gotta, you know, get back and play transition defense. You know, we've got to be great ball handlers, and ball handling isn't just dribbling. It's passing,
Good
catching,
practice,
you know, throwing the ball on time, on the money. That's handling the ball, not just people think ball handling is just dribbling. He says he's a great ball handler. That means he's great on the bounce, or she's great on the bounce. Ball handling is constantly what you do with the ball, how you pass it, how you dribble it, you know, timing of when you throw things. So we got to be great ball handlers, and we got to be great rebounders. We got to be great rebounders to be able to win in this level.
And continuing with the rebounding theme, Mikayla McHale, one of your seniors, she's now 2 away from reaching the 500 mark, which would make her the 22nd player in program history to become part of the 500 rebound club. You know, her career has been pretty consistent here. Not a lot of individual accolades, but you know, she's always going to get you rebounds, going to get you blocks, second all time in blocks. You know, what can you say? You know, as she's approaching a big milestone like this.
You know, Mikayla, when she plays with passion, is very explosive to going and getting the ball. And she can be very aggressive and fast, and that's what she's mounted those rebounds with. Being explosive and fast and long. You know, she's got long reach and long arms. So, yeah, since her freshman year, you know, she's been out there and she's been consistently giving us passion and going after it. And, you know, even when she has a bad game and she doesn't really get the numbers that maybe she's averaging, you know, you could expect her to, you know, come out of nowhere, then, you know, have a real game where you're like, wow, you know, she's right back where she needs to be. So I think a lot of those numbers are based upon, you know, even when she has a game where she falls underneath her totals, her averages, I should say.
She'll pick them up the next week,
That's right, responding. So I think that's what, you know, I'm always really loving about Mikayla, is that she's been a great responder to the challenge. And, you know, she's human, has her games where she doesn't play as well, but coming back, I can always feel confident that Mikayla's going to come back with a great energy.
I was going to say, it never seems like anything really gets her down.
Yeah, she's one of those kids that, you know, she's grown up so much here, and, you know, that's what we really pride ourselves on, not developing great players, but developing great people. That's a great John Wooden quote that he said, "I'm developing people, not players," and something like that. But you know, that's true. You know, that's true, and that's what we're doing here. And seeing her go out there and now become such a, you know, experienced player and a more of a leader. That's really what fills our hearts as coaches. And you know, I'm very proud of her right now. You know, she's working hard.
Absolutely. Now Saturday was the 7th out-of-league win for the Colonials, tying the program record with the 1986-87 team, as I mentioned last week. That doesn't really mean too much in respect to NEC play, but it has to be some sort of accomplishment to grab 7 wins so far in non-conference play, right?
Well, the big thing is that we've been a very young team, and we've been a very banged-up team when it comes to having players available. You know, everyone gets banged up throughout the season, and I'm not one for like the excuses of the grueling injuries or the pain. You know, that's all mental to us. You know, everyone's going through the grind, but not having players available and having short rotations, having freshmen step in and do a lot of playing. You know, getting that experience early, and you know, when you get that experience as a freshman, there's a lot of trial and error and a lot of adversity that you have to overcome because you're not used to this. So that's what I'm really looking at when it comes to that. You know, those wins is that, you know, we've been able to overcome a lot of youth on the floor at the same time. And then we've also overcome, you know, having a limited rotation. So, yeah, we just take, you know, the one game at a time approach always. I mean, I don't know any other way. I'll never be able to change that. And I think when, you know, moments have happened during this, you know, this non-conference schedule, we've had those moments where, you know, we may have not have had, you know, a great run of, you know, shooting the ball well,
right.
or a team did some things that bothered our defense and we had to make some adjustments. The biggest thing is that when those moments happen, what I've been mostly proud of with this team is that you don't change what you do what you do better.
Right.
And I think a lot of times when we have these breaks during like exams and stuff,
right.
People are looking to see if you change a lot and if you do all, you come back a different team, a different style and all that. And, you know, that's short-term motivation, that's short-term success. You know, you got to master what you do in our culture. And so that's what we've really done is not question what we do. We've kept our faith. And we've continued to try to get better at what we're doing and not trying to change what we're doing.
Right. And lastly here, like we mentioned before, I have Kent State tomorrow at 10 a.m., another morning tip. Last season went on the road and beat Kent State 68-65 in overtime, despite 3 players fouling out down the stretch there. You know, they're a tough team. They just played Michigan about a week ago and lost by 11 on their floor. What needs to be done to, you know, close out conference play, or non-conference play rather, with you know, a positive result?
Well, you said it right there. You got it nailed pretty well. They played a very tough non-conference schedule going into this game.
Like I say, they've actually, I think they're 2-3 at neutral site and 3-1 on the road. They've only played 2 games at home, so they're road tested.
Road tested. It's not a long trip for them. You know, it's a short trip over here. You know, so they've been battle tested and they've won on the road and they've played a very tough schedule. And they do a great job there. You know, watching them on video and knowing them from seeing them over the last 2 years, they've developed a very strong program there. I know last year we were able to get the win at 3rd place in overtime. It was a very hard-fought game.
Didn't have Mikayla McHale in that game either.
That's right. That's right. I know we were a little short-staffed, but again, you know, we challenge ourselves to step up when one goes down, step up. You know, I was very proud of the team for stepping up that day and getting that W and just battling. Even if we lost that game, it was such a great battle.
Yeah.
And, you know, Coach Starkey does a great job over there. I mean, I got a lot of respect for how well he coaches that team, and they really hold you accountable. I mean, they're very tough to play. So we know that it's going to be another tough matchup here for us, and you know, we know the things that we have to do better from coming back from the game we just played. We have to do better in some areas there, and we have to watch out because, you know, this team is tough. I mean, we have to really play well here. You know, when we go into a contest like this, you got to stay completely dialed in and focused to what's going to win the game. And against a team like Kent State, you know, if you lose focus on that for a second, if you get a little bit lazy,
they'll burn you.
They'll burn you. They are very, very tough. So it's going to be a great challenge for us. I'm very excited about the opportunity to play.
Another morning game?
Another morning game, a kids' day. It'll be nice to see the kids come out and have a real loud atmosphere and have, you know, a lot of excitement here. I love these games, and I love the challenge. It's a tough game, and that's all we want. We want challenges. We want tough games. We want to be able to challenge ourselves as a team out there to go out there and execute a game plan and play, you know, a really tough competition. So I'm looking forward to the game tomorrow.
Absolutely, so am I. So once again, thank you for joining me, and good luck tomorrow.
Thanks, Heath. I appreciate it.
Tomorrow's game against Kent State is, again, a 10 a.m. tip. It can be seen on NEC Front Row.